Hello guys! Let me introduce myself. My name Natasha Freiskam, NPM 1951058 from Batam International University. So, here I will explain the goals of development and I will explain the 11 development goals sustainable of city and communities. Actually, what is SDG or TPB, Sustainable Development Goals, and what must be done so that the TPB can really be achieved according to the target in 2030? In general, the TPB contains 17 goals that must be achieved by the nation in the world by 2030. This TPB was product from the UN General Assembly on September 25, 2015 in New York, United States. There were 193 state representatives who attended and approved the birth of the TPB. TPB itself is a continuation of the MDG or Millennium Development Goals, which was born in the UN General Assembly in 2000 and must be achieved in 2015. As mentioned above, there are 17 TPB that must be achieved. Under the 70 objectives, there are 169 specific targets and 232 indicators to measure the success of TPB. Achieving all these TPB is not only the responsibility of the Indonesian government, but also the responsibility of the private sector. Tantono Foundation is not exception that have been running a program to localize TPB in Riau province since 2016. In addition, the Tantono Foundation is also working with UNDP and Asian Agri to develop a sustainable palm oil initiative or SPOE to help small-scale oil palm farmers in Riau. The action above complement to Tantono Foundation portfolio, which has been regularly organizing programs such as SIGAP for early education, Pintar to improve and ability of teachers and school administration, and Teladan, which provides scholarship for students who have the potential to become future leaders. Since it was ratified in 2015, development goals have become global goals. 17 of them are cited and 196 defined to make human life good. The goals are set by the United Nations as an agenda for global development until 2030. Indonesia is one of the 193 nations of the United Nations or United Nations that is approved that implement sustainable goals. Bappenas has agreed to align national development goals with the goals of sustainable development. As jointly established, is universally applicable, not only for development or developing countries with low-income countries. As a global agreement, 17 sustainable development is not only the text of the government, but it's become a common goal. From the 70 expect goals, I will explain about cities and communities that are sustainable. The 11 global goals or sustainable city and communities, the world population is constantly increasing. To accommodate everyone, we need to build modern, sustainable city for all of us to survive and prosper. We need new, intelligent urban planning that creates safe, affordable, and resilient city with green and culturally inspiring living conditions. The background of the first problem is the increasing human population on limited land that affect the environment. The goals to be achieved is to realize city and settlements that are inclusive, safe, strong, and sustainable. The objective of TPB 11 is to make city and settlement inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. In order to achieve the goals of city and sustainable settlement in 2030, through the NIP TPB, 10 national targets are set. These targets include integrate urban development, urban infrastructure and service, and disaster risk and climate change in city. Efforts made to achieve these targets are outlined in policy, programs and activities that will be carried out by the government and non-government organizations. To realize the 11 city and sustainable settlement goals, the local government of Yogyakarta Special Region is based on the strategy of fulfilling the basic service of the poor, with a policy of provision of decent housing for the priority of low-income people. The DIY regional government in the 2017 until 2022 regional development planning document set target or indicators on goal 11 as follows. Program objectives 11 based on the target and policy direction drawn up in the context of achieving TPB goals 11. Number 1. Number of households living in decent and affordable residence. 2. Percentage of public transportation service provision on the route. 3. Preparation of railroad transportation service provision. 4. Privileged area development. 5. Meeting the needs of privileged subparts. 6. Decrease disaster risk index or IRB. 7. Increased coverage of urban waste management or RID sanitation. 8. Green open space or RTH. And 9. Disaster prevention and preparedness program or IRB. 11. Disaster emergency and logistic management program. And 12. Post-disaster rehabilitation and reconstruction program. What is sustainable? It is the third main pillar of growth in terms of social economy and environment protection that are mutually sustainable and have a very important role. Sustainable can also mean that each individual has an obligation and responsibility to preserve and improve the quality of life of future generations. Arship, which is a he said there were 6 basic needs, namely shelter, energy, clean water, food, waste management, and waste management. Based on these 6 needs, Renault builds sustainable housing that can provide anything. So, whether Arship can be applied in Indonesia? In my opinion, it could be, because it is a tropical country, so that it allows that practice of home garden. Then, tree on rubbish is rarely done. Household waste management is not yet environmentally friendly, and the population is increasing, so that sustainable housing is needed. More than half of us live in city. By 2050, 2/3 of all humanity, 65 billion people, will be urban. Sustainable development cannot be achieved without significantly transforming the way we build and manage our urban space. The rapid growth of cities, a result of rising population and increasing migration, has led to a boom in megacity, especially in the development world, and slums are becoming a more significant feature of the urban life. Making cities sustainable means creating career and business opportunities, safe and affordable housing, and building resilient communities and economies. It involves investment in public transport, creating green public space, and improving urban planning and management in participatory and inclusive way. Cities must be understood as agglomeration and superposition of various spatial units at different levels and magnitudes. Each unit of space has one relation to another depending on the role and function. Thus, urban planning and development must condition the space units so that they can play a good role and function, and coordinate the space unit. Urban spatial planning aims to create a balance between the function of urban space unit managed by private, semi-public, or private and public. As urban population density increases, the function of public or semi-public space, such as urban infrastructure and facilities, will become increasingly important. Likewise, with the increase in the city economy, the need for quality housing and city service will increase. Infrastructure development aims to provide city infrastructure and services that are equal and equitable for all layers. The development of land use aims to redistribute land, create additional land value, and manage land in a sustainable manner. Land use balance is needed to anticipate the need of diverse stakeholders or communities. Jakarta is a service center for Jakarta resident or local, Jabodetabek resident or regional, the center of government and the economy or national, and the global economic network system. Management and land use for communities that work and live in Jakarta depart from the need to develop the function of the city of Jakarta as a place to live. The focus of attention is those who work and live in Jakarta. In accordance with the reference to the dualistic character of our city, residential residence can be divided into village area and or formal residence. First, the urban village community. The village is a place of residence and work together. The facility needed by the villagers are the market or place of business and business center for community, and the village function as a place to accommodate the flow of migrants and carry out a socialization process. The existence of urban villages must be harmonious with the regional spatial plan. The government can improve the micro-local economic base or technical and management training programs. The uniqueness of each urban village or thematic and the standard of quality of life or health, education, waste management, healthy housing, clean water, hygiene, sanitation. Second, the middle class community. The character of middle class formal settlement are the legality of clear and clean land status, medium to medium density, and the tendency of increased density. The citizen consists of professional workers, Small-medium entrepreneurs, intellectual, educate and have technical and management skill or teachers technician. However, not all live in their own home. Some are in rental or boarding houses. Another characteristic, most of the main road settlements have changed to commercial function. Therefore, the government needs to allocate land for health care facility, education, market, limit the process of land conversion to maintain the character of occupancy, access to mass transportation, and building intermodals equipped with public facility and parking facility. Third, the community. Allocate land for various facilities that need to be built in order to reduce the number of commuters or reduce the impact of commuting. Commuter communities are divided into two groups, namely private vehicles user or cars, motorbikes, and public transport passenger. Some commuters are those who go to school, campus, hospitals, shopping center, or office. That this need to be anticipated by allocating this facility integrate with mass transportation system equipped with park and ride, retail, social, health, and education service. Shifting from community service center from within the settlement to the area around the transportation system. 4. Temporary community and virgin expert. Region provide store need with special product, comfortable residential environment with special security, cultural center facility, arts, convention and exhibition, shopping center, cafe, hotel and restaurant of high standard. Then the business district, easy access to airport, port and mass transportation. And integrate communication and utility network. To ensure the sustainability of the city, communities, economy, social and ecological support for the city is needed. First, city as economic system. The ability of city to produce a quality product and service will affect the quality of city life. The urban economic system requires for infrastructure to bring in raw materials, conduct production activities, and export production. As a sustainable urban economy will be able to provide workplace for the inhabitants, preventing social and ecological damage. Second, the city as a social system. Cities are formed by a number of different human groups, occupation, knowledge, and social position. The progress of the city depends on the ability of the group to form and integrate urban community. The dynamic of urban development will or often cause social shift and conflict. Third, the city as an ecological system. City need natural resources to develop such as water, land, fuel, which do not originate from the city itself but must be imported from outside. The quality of city depends greatly on the quality of the city ecological system and is influenced by the global ecological system. The ecological quality of a city is measured by the environment impact produced by city activity and mitigation of city in the face of disaster. I have facts and figures. 42 billion people in 2018, 55% of the world population live in city by 2030. 2050, the urban population is expected to reach 65 billion. Cities occupy just 3% of the Earth's land but account for 60 to 80% of energy consumption and at least 70% of carbon emission. 828 million people are estimated to live in some, and the number is rising. In 1990, there were 10 cities with 10 million people or more. By 2014, the number of megacities rose to 28 and was expected to reach 33 by 2018. In the future, 9 out of 10 megacities will be in the developing world. In the coming decades, 90% of urban expansion will be in the developing world. The economic role of cities is significant, that generate about 80% of the global GDP. There are 7 targets to be achieved in Goal 11 SDG, namely, ensure access to adequate, safe, and affordable housing and basic service. Access to a safe, affordable, and sustainable transportation system for all. Promote inclusive and sustainable urbanization. Strengthen effort to protect and preserve the world's cultural and natural heritage. Significantly reduce the number of deaths due to the impact of the economic crisis or due to disaster. Reduce adverse environment effects in urban areas by paying special attention to air quality and other waste management. Providing universal access to public spaces that are safe, inclusive, easily accessibility, and environment sound, especially for women and children, the elderly, and people with disabilities. That's all my explanation. Thank you for watching.